So you can hear me. I can hear you. Perfect. All right. All right. It is what time? It's 10 o'clock on the button. I love that. So glad everybody is uh, prompt because we love that. Hello, Maria. Hello, everyone. Oh, my goodness. So many um, kind faces. Of course, if you care about water and you're practicing water and you're being in relationship with water, you tend to end up being a very kind, elegant, lovely person. I've noticed that. My water friends are my most admired set of colleagues. I have to say that generosity, warmth, pleasure. I love all that. So, welcome to today's water salon. We've been hosting these with the World Water Community. Dr. Everin Vanderkratz is the person who's hosting all this on her World Water Community. And I'm Gina Bria from the Hydration Foundation, and I'm the talker here. And the person who tries to bring forward to all of us some of the new ideas that we're encountering around water and what water is and how it works and how we can be in relationship with it. So Everin and I came to the conclusion that there wasn't enough situational time together. We wanted to create these water salons to give us time to hear something new and to think together and to meet each other and to become aware of what other people are doing in the world around water. So it's becoming even more important as the interest in water has grown, and we want to continue to hold up research that's been either unconventional or unheard, or are heroes of ours that are in danger of their voices getting lost in some way. In fact, Everin is doing a project now to film some of the early pioneers in water research so we can keep that stuff alive. So again, this is a water salon. The idea here is to activate a reception room as they did in the days of old, which was a room to receive new ideas. And I just love this idea of a reception room because it has the word reception in it, and that idea that we're not here to present science as concluded or even ideas as concluded, but to push our exposure to receive new ways of thinking about what water could be. So in this particular salon, I really want to bring forward the idea of the role of electricity in water. And in part, that's because one of our great pioneers, Dr. Gerald Pollack, has just published a book called Charged: The Unexpected Role of Electricity in Nature. And that, of course, has got us all thinking. And another reason why, and we'll put the link to that book in the chat so you have access to that. It's a great way to think about what electricity is. And before I try to bring a definition of that, I wanted to say a little thing about electricity right now on the planet, because we are in some of the most extraordinary and strong coronal flares that have ever been registered. Electron flow from the sun hitting the earth. In fact, last night I was on an airplane and I flew through the aurora borealis. So it was literally on either side of the plane. And the level of electricity that's hitting the earth right now is really, if you feel strange, if you feel exhausted, if you feel lost, if you feel just like not together, This isn't personal. The whole planet is being hit with the amazing coronal flares right now. So it's good to be together in this room right now and be reminded that things are not normal. We're not in a biologically, environmentally normal situation right now. We really are feeling from uh, the turbulence. We're feeling turbulence. So let's be together while we run through that and remind ourselves that that if you feel extra tired or extra confused, or if people seem uh, especially triggered or high voltage, there's a reason. There's a biological reason, a cosmic reason right now, and to account for that. And let's just take a breath and be together in that story. So, what is electricity? I think for purposes of our salon today, I just want to imagine it as the flow of electrons. Um, uh, I just wanted to place in front of us thoughts on electron flow within our bodies and then all around us. So I've prepared some interesting videos for us to look at. And the first one is going to be an old experiment. It's been around for quite a while. It's been observed for, I probably, well, I'm not sure whether, let's roll let's roll that, Everin, and uh, I'm going to take a minute just to collect myself because I can tell my brain is not so high functioning today. This is a water bridge experiment, and you may have seen it before, but I'm going to connect. Go ahead, Everin, roll it. Okay, we're sharing this. I'm very curious whether people are familiar with this experiment. Have they seen it? Have any of you seen this before? Let's collect some comments so I can hear. Uh, I think it's Ellie. Would you?
Yes,
Yeah, tell me what you know about this particular. Hello, welcome.
I've seen it, I've done it, and it's astounding. It demonstrates the profound molecular cohesion through the flow of electrons, and it's important.
It is indeed, and I don't feel like enough of us in the water world are connecting that experiment. While we may be aware of it, it's rather an old experiment, so it's sort of moved on, from us thinking about it or being exposed to it. But Ellie, if I can just ask, how and why did you decide to do that experiment?
Well, I'm really fascinated by the effects of not only vortex to cohere water, but the effects of magnetism and electricity, because we live in a pulsing Mother Earth of electromagnetic energy that has informed the shape of life and all organisms. So that's why.
Um, why do you know that? Why? What has led you to
How do
stumble?
I know it? I feel it. I'm a sailor. I grew up sailing. My dad, my grandfather were sailors from Odessa. And, I grew up on a boat, so I feel it.
That is amazing. I can't believe I have someone on with us who's actually done this experiment. That is such a surprise and a welcome surprise. So, Ellie, I want to comment that we are in an extraordinary vortex right now of people who have become interested in water.
Yes.
And if you're on social media at all, and you were on social media even a year ago, or especially 5 years ago, you saw none of this conversation didn't exist. And now it has really exploded. And that is a very good thing. However, we want to be helping channel the direction and guiding people for what to look at, what to understand about what's going on, because the conversation around structured water is just crazy right now, and all sorts of things are being said. And some of them are truthful, some of them are out of this world. It sort of doesn't matter. What matters is we're just going to keep laying a foundation of what to look at, what to think about, how to compare, how to bring forward the work of people we know who really are solid. And I think the water experiment should be part of our foundational education.
Hmm.
So I'm thrilled that you did that. And we're going to again look at a fascia video now. Everin is going to load up we've seen this before. We can't see it enough because once you see it, you can't unsee it. But we're going to look at the fascia strolling under the skin for Dr. Jean-Claude Gimbarteau, a French surgeon who was the first person to actually capture images of living fascia. And why I want to lay this next to the water bridge experiment, I'm just going to let your brain start to put that together. So, Everin, can we just show a short section of this? Yeah, it's only 2 minutes. Okay, that's perfect, Everin. That is perfect. That's just enough time for us to hold the water bridge experiment next to fascia. And I would love to hear comments, Ellie, uh, Maria. If what is your, what do you see seeing those two next to each other?
Well, I think there is a high correlation between both of them, the experiment of the water bridge and the hydrated fascia sims the water bridge. So as the water bridge begins to exist in high voltage, it seems that in our internal body we have voltage, we have electrons, we have this kind of um, information, transmission of information through the fascia, and it's also needed a very hydrated fascia, a very healthy fascia to do this, I guess.
Oh, no guessing. I think we're having the conversation we really wanted to. I was really hoping would be excited today. Ellie, do you have any comments?
Well, there are complements. The water is alive, but in a sense, it's a different level of animation. It's an inanimate, whereas the fascia are pulsing, living connective tissue. So they're a complement. And I would like to understand how they interact and give dynamic, how the energy gives dynamic life force to the fascia. Help us
Well,
understand.
yeah, the first time I saw Strolling Under the Skin was 2015, and I was planning a TED conference in New York City on water, on structured water, and I had gotten Dr. Pollack to agree to come and give a TED talk. And a TED event, of course, is more than just one talk. So we'd organized actually Stephanie Seneff as well, and then someone from Cirque du Soleil to talk about water and creativity. And I opened this event by showing this new video, Strolling Under the Skin. And by the way, I would like to mention that Dr. Jean-Claude Gimbarteau, who did this film, is a colleague of Jerry Pollack's. They met in Sweden this year at the Fascia conference, and Dr. Gimbarteau was so excited that we were showing his film so often and in so many places, and continue to see it as foundationally educational to what water is actually doing for living things. So, and when we showed it at the TED event, most people had never seen it before, and people were standing, they were getting out of their chairs. They were like, what have I just seen? And so the first time that I saw it, I saw hydration. I saw the water droplets. I saw the conception of water in this plasma form being completely shot through our entire system, not just holding our tissues, but around our bones and our organs, but actually encompassing the whole hydration structure. That it wasn't coming through osmosis like we thought, but coming through this amazing network. But this time, when I look at it again, I'm seeing electron flow. And of course, you're not actually seeing the electrons, but you're getting from now linking it to the water bridge experiment of what that electron flow is doing to the qualities and the principles and the properties of water when we're bringing that level of voltage in to water. So I just love being able to see that and to get a sense of, okay, now I can talk about bioelectricity in the body, and in a way that I wasn't linking it before, because I can see the water bridge experiment, and I can see, oh my God, this is I am a water bridge experiment. Inside of me is what is happening all the time. So what I thought, I just want, for us just to have these visuals next to each other to help connect them in our own mind and our own thinking. I can't give you all the science about why some people are still calling it surface tension. I don't think that's a good enough explanation. And of course, Everin's work with Paolo and his quantum water domains, quantum electric domains, we're getting more information on how this could all look, but getting foundational visions for ourselves is really great. So next, I want to show you a short video, a clip from a video given at a Bioneers conference 2 years ago. And this young man, his name is Merlin Sheldrake. He is a mushroom specialist, a mycelium specialist. Do any of you already know the work of Merlin Sheldrake? Okay, this is really exciting because I'm really happy to connect them. So I'm just going to tell a little story like behind the scenes because it's always really fun, right? So Merlin Sheldrake is working with Paul Stamets. Paul Stamets is an American mycologist who really broke open the field of mushrooms as an essential element to understanding how life works. And he's been up in Washington, very near Jerry's lab. All this is so fun because we're like vortexing in little vortexes, and they're in places on the planet, like up near Seattle in the Olympic Mountains where Paul Stemmick works. But Merlin is the son of Rupert Sheldrake, and Rupert Sheldrake was a plant specialist, a plant biologist who spent a great deal of time uh, trying to rethink how plants evolve. And if it's possible that there's shared information, that, in other words, plants are not evolving just from their own specific growth, but also they're tapping something to teach them how to grow or to create habits and information. And he called this theory the morphic field. We're, of course, 20 years ago, in fact, his TED Talk, I think it was 2014, was banned. It was like, no, this is too ultra. So if you ever look up online, you can see banned TED Talks. Rupert Sheldrake's was the first. It was hugely controversial that a TED Talk would be banned. Because what's the point? It's the name of the motto of TED is spreading new ideas, right? So Merlin is the son of Rupert, along with his son Cosmo, and who's a musician. And Merlin ended up going to Jerry's lab as a young boy, visiting Jerry's lab, and seeing things that kind of went in the back of his head. So, and now he's presenting information on the mycelium network under the ground. So we're just going to show a very exciting clip. Everin, you want to share that, and then we can talk a little more about it. It's really great. Okay, that's good, Everin. That's a perfect place to stop. Oh my gosh. Okay. Comments, thoughts, reactions. I'd love to hear.
I
Okay.
think that myceliums are amazing. They are really the network above the earth, the roots. And I guess if you are trying to link with fascia, fascia also have this kind of relation. And mycelium, one plant can help other plants in danger situation through myceliums and exchange nutrients and so on. And I guess fascia is also a network inside our body that can help one organ if the other is not so good. It's a kind of balance that if everything is all right, um, and one part of our organ is not so good, the others can try to help through water, through the four phase water, easy water, and this kind of network fascia inside of us. And of course, about we have to have this polarization. We have to have charges, electrons, and to things work, to have things working properly.
Isn't it amazing to think all of that is under our feet, that the whole earth is an electrical grid carried by the water in the mycelium? Were you aware of Merlin's work before? Had you seen this?
Um, Not exactly Merlin's work. I didn't know about him. I know about Hubert Sheldrake's work, and myceliums. I've know about Paul. It's a guy from Canada. He's a specialist of mushrooms. I don't remember his surname, but I
Stamets. Yes,
yeah
this
yeah.
is Merlin's mentor. That's the lab they're
Oh,
working in.
oh,
Yeah,
I see. So
yes.
I always I always follow him,
Mhm.
and I always see his posts and things like that. And
You're already sensing, your conscious,
yeah,
unconscious is already sensing this stuff is somehow telling me the same thing. It's really
yes,
telling me thing. So one other quick story about this presentation at Bioneers. When I saw it, I immediately sent it to Jerry. I said, "Hey, Jerry, have you seen this?" He's like, "I haven't seen this." And I said, "I think you and Merlin should have a conversation," because he ends that talk by saying, Merlin ends that talk. We didn't go all the way to the end because we don't have enough time today, but you can watch it. He ends that talk by saying, "We don't know why it's doing this." And I'm like, Jerry, let's get on the phone with Merlin so you can say to him, why is there flow? Why is there electrical flow? Why is that? And of course, they were happy to get reacquainted after Merlin was now this beautiful young man doing amazing work on mycelium. And Jerry was able to say, have you guys looked at infrared? Have you just simply shined an infrared light on your experiments to see if the flow goes faster and pull it away and see if it goes slower? Because there you will find your why, your energy source. So it was a delightful conversation, and it has gone out to affect further research. But Ellie, tell me what you're seeing, what you're thinking.
Well, it sort of gives me shivers because we're truly surrounded with an ocean of energy that takes form under, it's how plants communicate with each other. Not only get their nutrients from the earth, but there's a global above and below network of conscious energy. I mean, it's conscious in a way.
Well, now you know why I opened our salon today talking about coronal flares
Yeah.
and their impact on us. Like, this isn't, for just the crazies in astronomy and astrology who are, saying, if you're a Taurus, look out. It's going to be a busy, busy time for you. It's really to help us have some foundational ways to say, this is happening in our body. You see, when you see a voltage experiment, it's actually transferable to see that that is happening within us, and then it's happening under our feet, absolutely everywhere, and then it's happening, above us, and we're experiencing the impact of. Uh, we know infrared, but we don't know what else is all in that sunlight that's having that is really having that impact on us. So uh, I I'm sure that that the conversation on electricity in our body is going to be coming more and more into our health conversations and into our medicine conversations. And in particular, there's a way for us to begin to have the conversation on what frequency is and as a form of electron flow. We can, I don't think that's all it is. I think there's probably other forms of uh, frequency besides the electromagnetic ones. But but I don't know enough yet. I've got to be out there looking for that kind of information. Um, Everin, do you have any thoughts on that beyond electromagnetic fields?
Well, the sound vibrations could have effect.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just thinking out loud.
Good,
Um,
I love that.
no. Uh, well, usually a lot of the frequency and things that we know about is transferred to electromagnetic type of fields, but yeah, I think there are more that we might not understand yet. Yeah.
And is that the work that Paolo is doing with
Well, that's
quantum
still
elect?
it's still electric. Quantum electrodynamics and these coherent domains. They work with with the frequency phase fields. That's also phase differences. No, in these frequencies that have resonances and interactions. So how to explain that? I mean, it's all still within the system that generates that. It's still electrons and stuff going back and forth in different levels of energy within a collection of water molecules. They jump in different levels and then they vibrate in that, and that's the frequency or the phase differences between different types of coherent domains. So I'd still say that is electromagnetic.
Hmm. So we don't have much conversation outside of electromagnetic. That's a
Yeah,
great field
and
to be exploring pretty
yeah,
deeply.
exactly. And even the sound waves can be transferred to that type of information.
Mhm. Well, we have the work of John Stewart Reed on frequency and sound. And I have been asking John, what's the difference between electricity and sound? So I hope I can bring that to our next salon because that's a very interesting topic. And we do have some people who really can have something to say, right? And then you have a course on the World Water Community of Paulo's work, right? That people can have access to what some of the latest thinking on quantum electro domains and how they are a, another set of languages to think about what water is, how it works, what phases are, complementing Jerry's work. So,
Yes, that course is available. It's been recorded already a couple of years. It's available, and he explains water and why water can be so expressive or can behave the way we are seeing it, unexplained phenomena of water. And this quantum electrodynamics theory, it's building on quantum field theory, can actually explain a lot of these anomalies that are conventionally not explained. So that's and he's able to explain it in a way that layman, I think, well, it's still quite difficult, but he starts at the beginning, so you can understand it. If you are really interested, you can follow the story.
One of the ways that he's helped me think about these different domains is to think about them literally as like the electrons, jumping between the quantum shells or circles, but to think about those almost as different tuning forks, and that each does its own tuning fork, and then a resonance happens because of that. And then there's another one over here that's different from this one over here, and they're not crossing. They're doing some kind of very specific frequency sound and work that's really incredible.
That makes it that possible to be very specific indeed with the different. There's so many different electron levels, which which specifically water is able to hold. So that's why, all the even bodily systems, ATP cycles, can be explained by that theory. So why does it go back, and how does it tick from one of these levels to the other, and then go back? And at the same time, you can have a lot of different scales of this kind of coherence or resonance. So it can be on a small scale and even on ecosystem scale if you really transfer it to that.
I love thinking in these terms because it's very musical. It's very, it's almost, I mean, and it helps us enjoy ourselves at a completely new level, I think, about why we are so extraordinary and why we're even alive. And the complexity of that happening gives me a level of appreciation and joy for my time on this earth while I'm an electrical being. So I thought I would close our time together with a small practice exercise that we can take into experiencing ourselves and having some of this electrical flow happen. So I chose a very specific hertz for us to listen to. It's just a very short clip that we're just going to take some time. Take a breath. We've put aside this time already to be here, so we're going to end with a practice that allows us to. What I'd love is I'm going to have Everin play this short piece of music. We're just going to let it flow through us as sound and electromagnetic fields, and think of yourself as a mycelium network. But the way I thought we could do this 2 minutes of listening is to add a sense of our own flow. And I'm very fascinated with the cerebral spinal fluid. There's a tremendous amount of work coming out now about what that substance actually is. And I thought, since we saw the Merlin Sheldrake tape, we could imagine this mycelium network or water flow through our synovial fluid and our canal down the back of our cranium, all the way down, bathing every single one of our nerve structures that goes into our vertebrae, almost like a piano keyboard, right? That whole amazing thing. So what I'd like us to do is just take the music in and activate your spine and your head, especially, in your neck, so that you're going to find your own kind of flow while you're listening to this short piece of music. Think about how you're going to get your ear over your shoulders, your chin down to your chest, your head back and up. And that we're just going to take 2 minutes now to use our head to move this whole fluid through our body, just like we saw in those amazing mycelium videos from Merlin. So Everin, would you play the music for us? Just take time to move. Slow is good. Wow. I actually felt the kind of iron bar that you sometimes get in Tai Chi practice where you can't almost press your hands close together. Well, I hope you will feel free to uh, share that piece of music with yourself again or with others. And again, these replays are available for everyone. They're our contribution to building foundational knowledge, uh, receiving each other in a reception room around water salons and water information. Please feel free to share them with anybody. The replay will get posted, right, Everin? We'll have the replay come up. And I just wanted to do one note. So many of us know Jerry Pollock and are maybe aware that he had a stroke about 2 months ago, and he's still in the hospital. He's still struggling to stabilize, and so we sent out a opportunity to pray for him last week as a group of people, and we've got a replay that anybody can kind of walk through a body scan with all of us together to send Jerry our healing love and energies for whatever is going to be happening for him in this next round. We wanted to gather around him. So, Erin, if you can drop the link in the chat so anybody can grab that. It's also on our YouTube channel. It's the same place you would find the water salon. So thank you for joining us. Any comments at the end? We love to collect and hear reactions to today's thinking. Has it changed your thinking or added? I'd love to hear from anybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I love to link all these different things that in fact they are related. The water bridge experiment, fascia, mycelium, and so on. So it's all inside of us. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Marie. It's so good to see you. Okay, wonderful. We'll see you in a month. First Thursday. Wait, is it the first Thursday? I always get it mixed up. Yes. First Thursday of the month. And again, I think I almost had a picture of my plane going through the Aurora Borealis just to make sure after mycelium we go back up to the cosmos, but I couldn't get it off my phone. So just think about what we're actually, the invisible rays we're in right now are really an extraordinary moment. And we are in an extraordinary time. We're glad to be together to do this. And the next subject of our water salon is still to be determined. I think, again, this whole cerebral fluid is becoming the information coming on, calling it liquid fascia now. Oh my goodness, we have some great reporting to do on that. So probably we will do that in our next salon, is talk about liquid fascia. So thank you all.
Thank
See
you
you
so
next month. Blessings on everybody. Water blessings. Bye-bye.